Welcome to a very windy and slightly damp Bramble Mere. Thanks for joining me on this Journeyman's Tales. There we go, 4 o'clock on the first afternoon, scrape of 20 on the Withy Rig, and that's thrilled actually to get off the mark on the first evening, or early evening even. Plenty of time to catch more. And she's a beautiful, beautiful scaly delight. And she's better the other side because she's got a bit of a damage on this side. I put a bit of antiseptic on her before she goes back. There, oh, come on now. They want to have a quick look at your beautiful scales. There she is. Right, bit of antiseptic and get her back, I think. Here we go, 3:30 in the morning, middle rod again, slow steady pull, and came in like a wet sack surprisingly. £29, 8 ounces. Absolutely delighted with that. There are some quality fish in this place, aren't they? Absolutely delighted. Well, good morning. Bit of a change in the day today. We've got sun's out, the wind's dropped right down, and with the sun out, the temperature's going up. Yesterday it was quite wet, very, very windy, and I did manage to get one on the middle rod. It was about 4 o'clock-ish, and then about 9 o'clock I had a tench on the left-hand rod, and then that was all nice and quiet, so I got myself zipped in because the temperature was really bombing out in the middle of the night, and then 3:30 this morning off went the middle rod again with a fabulous 29 pounder, so I was absolutely thrilled to bits with that. But it's been a bit quiet this morning, although the clouds have completely disappeared at one point and the stars were out. There was a big old moon out there and the temperature absolutely plummeted again. But with the sun out, we got a bit of warmth coming back into things. Now, what I was going to run you through one of the rigs I put together for this winter, not that I've been able to get out to do much of a winter's fishing, was the Slip D rig. So I'll just run you through how I do it. So to tie the Slip D, first take your braid of choice and your hook And then you put the braid in through the eye of the hook from the front. That is the point side. Pull it through, give yourself plenty of room, and then put it back through the hook. So you're forming a loop along the back of the shank. And it helps if you haven't got nails like a Turkish hooker really, but that's another story. And then onto that loop that you've formed, you put your micro ring swivel, which is what the bait is attached to. And then you put that loop over the point of the hook and pull it back so it's trapped on the shank of the hook. And then you have to decide where you want that D to end. Now some people will have it ending virtually opposite the barb of the hook. Some people go a bit shorter so it ends about the point of the hook. Now I'm using a long shank hook on this occasion, so I'm putting it around about the point, and then you take the long end to form your no knot. Wrap that round 4 or 5 times, the choice is yours, back over the barrel of the loops you've created, back through the eye to the front of the hook to secure that knot. Then it's a case of cutting off that tag. Some people like to blob it once it's been cut. I've never found one slip, so I don't tend to bother. And then put on the liner of your choice, or indeed shrink tube. In this case I'm using one of the bloodliners. Push that carefully over the eye of the hook, covering the knot up. And there you have the finished slip D. And it's just a case of flossing your bait to the micro swivel. Now of course, once I've tied it up on the braid, what I tend to do in the winter months, but as I said, I haven't been able to get out and do much winter fishing, I tend to use fluorocarbon hook lengths, mainly because the water clarity is much improved during the winter months. The cold helps turn it to tap water basically, and the carp are less active, so they're not stirring up things so much. In fact, if your lake is quite coloured during the course of the winter, probably got the carp are quite active, but generally speaking it turns to tap water, so I go on to fluorocarbon rigs. So that braid then will be attached to a fluorocarbon 20 pound or 30 pound fluorocarbon using an Albright knot. Now I've already done a video on how to tie an Albright knot, so I'm not going to go run through that again, but I won't be using that particular hook on Bramble Mere because Bramble Mere is a barbless hook only. So for this particular trip I should be using the Korda Klor, which has got a big point on it, which, as you know, I've said before, I think the big point might not go in as quick as a straight point, but it certainly holds better. And when you've got big fish on a barbless hook and weed in the water, it tends to frighten the life out of me, so I tend to use the big point hook. But it's tied in exactly the same way. 30 pound Illusion. Onto that I had the tench on a Wafter with some maggots attached to it, but the 2 carp came to a Withy Rig. Now I'm sure I've done a video on how to tie a Withy Rig, so I'm not going to go through that at the moment, but that's the rig that had the 2 carp. It's a bog standard Withy Rig really. This, again, attached to fluorocarbon, and I'm using the Probates winter specials with a bunch of maggots on the top, which they seem to like. So that's what's gone out on 2 rods now. I've still got a Wafter on one of the rods, but I've got 2 rods on the Withy Rig, and we'll see what happens maybe this afternoon, hopefully for this evening and through the night again. It's due to start warming up again fairly soon. More cloud, maybe the rain coming back in, so less cold at night, more fish. I'll keep you informed. The only thing I forgot to mention was the comment about the nails like a Turkish hooker. Well, during my enforced convalescence, which went on for ages, I tried to make friends with a 5-string banjo. And let me tell you, it didn't work out too well. So I'm just going to have to be content with being a mediocre guitar player. So now you know. Just to give you a quick update, using the Deeper Pro with the bait boat, mounted on the front with a custom tackle bracket on the front there. What I've done is shorten the arm to about 2.5 inches, and I've also put a lanyard on it, velcroed to the top of the handle to stop it from digging into the water. Now if you just put it in the bait boat out empty, go on full chat, it will tend to nosedive into the water. If you go slowly, which is what I tend to do when I'm trying to find features, it's fine. But if you want to take it out a long way before you do that, what I suggest you do is either find some bankside weight just to balance it out a little bit, or you can put leads in there. As long as you don't dispense the hot bar, you're laughing, but I mean you can fill it up with a few ounces of lead to take it out to keep the balance. But generally speaking, if I'm trying to find some features, then I'm not going out there full chat. That's crazy. I just brought the left hand rod in because a very persistent coot had been disturbing it. So I thought I'd change it. Put an orange wafter on just to see if it would provoke something. I was just about to put the wraps on and the middle rod zoomed off. What that was all about, I've no idea. These overhanging trees don't make life particularly easy either. See, that's, if I lift the rod up, that's going under the, catching in the tree off to my right. Come on, Jenny, you're turning into a wuss. That felt far bigger than it actually is. There, happy days indeed. Right. Not a massive fish, but an absolute beauty. And fought really hard. Look at that. Ooh, alright girl. Look at that for a fish. What a stunner. Absolute stunner. Not weighed it. Might scrape a bony, but just a beautiful looking fish. And Bramble Mere is full of them. Beautiful looking fish like that, and 20 pounds bigger, but just pleased to catch. Right, let's get her back. So this is the left hand rod I was going to replace before that middle one went. Notice I'm using the additional gate with the Korda heli safe on there, otherwise as soon as it pulls up tight you'd lose your lead. And I'm going to try something a bit brighter, just to ring the changes and see what happens. So I've got a nice bright orange wafter on there, tipped with half a dozen maggots. I don't know what time was that. What time do you reckon that was? Up was 4? Yeah. They're dark, aren't they? Dark and beautiful. So, yesterday's bite time, a little bit later, up was 4. 18 pound and something, I can't remember. I'm so excited. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. He's talking all over it, but never mind. It's the excitement of it all, and it's natural. All right. Yeah. And this one went into a weed bed, got it out, and then it went into another one and got really jammed up. And whilst I'm trying to get this out of the weed bed, in fact I think I've just got it out of the weed bed, the middle rod went off, and the bloke who played it and landed it, is going to show it to you. In the meantime, I'm putting this back.
Skilly bangers.
No, they don't.
Perhaps they shouldn't. Come on.
I rented him the rod for 5 minutes. Look what he did.
£22 8 ounce of beautiful Bramble Mere mirror.
Absolutely stunning.
Dark, 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 dark.
It's dark.
Teamwork, teamwork. Something else that rhymes with teamwork. There she be. Side she didn't want us to see. Oh. You're a carp, not a grayling, you don't. Carp. There you go, anyway. What we got there? Thank you, Paul.
Absolutely fantastic.
Steady.
1:30 on a ridiculously cold morning. In fact, the landing net was frozen, the sling was frozen. £24, 4 ounces. I mean, this is probably not doing it justice, but it's absolute beaut. Real Bramble Mere scaly beaut. And I am well thrilled with that. And that was on the orange wafter. So that's come good as well. What a belter, eh? I don't know if you can see it, but she's got some kind of strange growth. Both sides of the gill plates. Other than that, she's perfect. Right. Oh. Well, good morning. And what a crazy cold night that was. All the mat frozen, the landing net frozen, the weigh sling frozen. But it didn't stop the fish, fortunately. 1:30. Strange pull up tight, didn't do anything, didn't run anywhere, came in like a wet sack again. But an absolute stunning looking Bramble Mere fish, as most of them are in here. But I didn't do an evening update because after the chaos of the double take and getting all the rods back out again, got settled and it started tipping down with rain. So didn't manage to get around to doing that, but I don't know what time it cleared, but everything went absolutely flat calm. The moon came out, the stars came out, and the temperature just absolutely plummeted. I don't know what it was, in minus something or other. But it's about, I don't know, about 7, 8 o'clock now, and the ice is already beginning to melt. The sun's coming up over my left shoulder, and even with it coming through the mist, it's warming the place up. Things are beginning to defrost and melt, and looking forward to another day. I mean, I had one in the middle of the day, and then this sort of 4:30, they've been back on the feed. I know Steve opposite me had a fish in the night as well. So the weather's not exactly putting them off, which is good. But if I don't catch any more, I've exceeded my expectations, I must say. And I'm well pleased with the way things are going. But when it all changes and I do get another one, I'll let you know. On reflection, I think I was on the warm side of the lake. Well, I think it was just coming up to 10 o'clock and I was decided to put the salopettes on to try and warm the body up. And I got my left leg in and I was halfway through getting my right leg in and the left down rod went roaring off. And it turned into a bit of a farce after that. I don't know if you got any of the footage, but there I was playing a fish whilst trying to stop myself from tripping myself over the elasticated shoulder straps. Managed to get it sorted, managed to land a beautiful 16-pounder. So I'm going to sit down, have a cup of coffee and tie up a new Wafter rig with that orange Wafter, which seems to be doing the biz at the moment. Happy times. (2:30), final afternoon, and on the Wafter again. I'm knackered. 26 pound and a couple of ounces, and it's pouring down. Happy days. Got a bit of a scale missing this side. Put some antiseptic on before she goes back. Happy time, she's going to go. Steady, go, steady. It's the last morning, and it's the first early morning call I've had. And as you can see, probably, you certainly could on the other one, all the gill plates inflamed on the edge, and I've just pulled a few leeches off. And whether they've been hiding up in the weed for the winter. I've never seen it on carp before. There we are, 21 pounds and 4 ounces. Good morning to you, sir. It's not as bad as the other fish, but it's still there. How about that? One of Bramble Mere's famous scaly carp. She can go back. I'm going to have coffee, and it's time to start packing away, I think, whilst the rain stopped. Happy times. Well, good morning. It's the last morning, and eventually the rain has stopped. It came in yesterday early evening. I put the rods out in the rain. The wind has changed round to the southwest, southeast a bit. It's got a lot warmer. The barometer's dropped considerably, and it rained till, I don't know, up as 4, up as 5, something like that. And just as it was getting light, I had that run on the right hand rod this morning, a 21 pounder. And that was the first run I'd had on the right hand rod. Now, I thought I'd change it over yesterday evening. I put an orange pop-up up. Now, most of the fish have come to either an orange wafter or a pink pop-up on a Withy Rig in the middle rod. So I thought, I'll just try an orange one, see what happens. And that, strangely enough, that was the one that went. So obviously varying the colours can make a difference. So anyway, that's all videoed. The fish has gone back. I'm having my final cup of coffee. The whole body's had enough. Could stay till later on this evening, but I'm not. I'm going to start packing up when it's dry. Big shout out's got to go to Carey and the two Steves for getting me out there. I wouldn't have come on my own. Just didn't feel up to it, but they got me out here, and I couldn't have asked for a better session, really. If anything happens while I'm packing up, I'll put it in as a postscript. But thanks for your company on this Journeyman's Tales, and I'll catch you all again soon. Cheers for now.
Just winding in the last rod, a week with Paul, Steve and Carey, and this little thing has put up an appearance. Absolutely beautiful. Didn't know it was on till I tried to wind the rod in. Probably about 8 pound, maybe 9. Fish of the week, unfortunately, probably won't make the cut. Had a 32 pound common, my PB, my first UK 30, and nobody could hear me to come and take pictures. So I've got some map footage, but yeah, one of us had a 30 from Bramble Mere. Lovely trip, coldest night fishing last night, and I look forward to the full video.
It's his fault. It's his fault.
As soon as you blamed everybody for not taking your photos because they couldn't hear you, I mean, well,